Stress management. Know your triggers and transform your leadership. Have you ever actually thought about what are your stresses? What are the triggers and the things that actually cause you to experience stress in your life? Most of us just go through life and we don't actually ever think about the things that perhaps trigger us, or even the things that we need in our lives to keep stress at bay, but rather we just kind of coast through day by day, hoping that it will all be okay. But here are some strategies to encourage and model healthy behaviors in your team. So first of all, learn to respond productively to stress in the moment. It's not uncommon for most of us to react rather than to respond. So strategies to encourage and model healthy behaviors in your team. It's not uncommon for many of us to react when a trigger comes our way and instinctively our amygdala is enacted, and so we react rather than breathing and responding appropriately. So if you can learn to respond productively to stress in the moment, then any outcome that you are going to get at that point will be far greater than the one you were ever going to get when you just instinctively reacted to the moment. Now, manage issues early. So when issues come your way, don't let them fester. If something's bothering you, don't procrastinate on it, because what you do is you just feed the stress and then it seems twice as bad. Clarify your priorities. So make sure you know what the really important things are that you have to work on. Because I can tell you that emails will always come through. You'll never clear your inbox, and you would be able to work 24/7 and still not feel like you're ahead in the game. So make sure you know what your priorities are in any given day, but also overall in your job. Look after yourself. Absolutely make sure that you are putting yourself first. Protect your time. If you don't manage your time, then I can promise you someone else is going to fill your time and manage it for you. So protect your time, and then build supportive relationships. Right? People who do give you boundaries and space, people who do help and serve and protect you, and also help you try and keep those stresses at bay as well. What's your stress tendency? Each of us have a different way that we deal with stress. Now, here are 4 different alternatives. There's the person who tends to avoid. So you'll see the top part where it's in the red box. So the person who kind of distracts themselves from their stressor and they procrastinate. Now, often when we do that, we cause more stress. Particularly, I know people who are procrastinators who say the procrastination in itself causes them stress. What you want to do is learn to practice a healthier stress response when these things happen, because we can't eliminate stress. It's just part of life. We can't eliminate change. We can't stop these things from coming at us unexpectedly, but we can learn to manage them a bit better and to respond differently to them. So instead of avoidance, the alternative is in the green box. You might want to learn to engage more with your stresses, to learn healthy coping mechanisms. It's like an elastic band, any of this stuff. You've got to stretch it to build the resilience to be able to manage it and get better at it. Then you might be the kind of person who complains about your stress. So you externalize your stress and negative emotions onto others. Now, what you might want to try, an alternative, is to, talk to people about your stresses. Never bottle up emotion, because it will find a way to come out and manifest in a different way anyway. But instead, talk to them and get an objective view of your stresses, because often we've got a very biased opinion about what is causing us stress. Then we've got people who tend to obsess over the stress. So they focus all their time and their energy on their stresses, feeding it a lot more, and then it seems a lot worse. If that is you, then maybe you want to try and take breaks from your stresses instead. For the next 20 minutes, I will not even engage or think about that particular thing. And then we've got self-doubt. So the kind of person who internalizes the stresses and blames themselves completely. So instead, a more healthier response might be to give yourself the benefit of the doubt when stressed. So they're just 4 different tendencies that people might tend to do. If you notice yourself in one of them, sit down, think about what your triggers are, think about what your stress tendency is, and then start to plot a far more healthier response when you are stressed, so that when you're actually in the moment, you've already got a plan in place. Rather than being stressed, your IQ is depleted by 50%, you can't think your way out of the issue, and then therefore you don't have a healthy coping mechanism. Clarify your priorities. Now, what counts as a priority? Well, it should be something that directly supports a strategic initiative or a business need, something that is important. If you do the Stephen Covey 4x4 matrix and you note that something's not urgent and not important, then it really shouldn't be listed as a priority. It should have an impending due date, and it's something that will significantly benefit the organization or the team. Now, it doesn't have to be all of these 4 things, but it might be that this is how you start to work out what is a priority. To-do lists are an amazing thing. To-do lists, get them out of your brain onto a piece of paper. And not everything on your to-do list necessarily has to be done now. So go through your to-do list once you've got everything down. Do I do it? Do I defer it? Do I delegate it? Or do I delete it? And so put the 4 Ds to work on your list. Dedicate time. So once you've got your to-do list and you know what you need to do, then block out dedicated time for each of your priorities. So let's say you're a morning person and you know that you're on song in the morning and that's when you get the most work done, then you might block out the first 2 hours of your day to work on your to-do list. And the other one is personal. You've also want to define your personal priorities. So it shouldn't just also be about your work priorities, but you should be doing this in your personal as well, because we've all got lives to lead. Don't forget to look after yourself. Make sure you are getting appropriate rest and rejuvenation. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help, and then identify, well, what kind of help or support do I actually need? Now, is it that I need material assistance here? Do I need more resources? Do I need money? Do I need technology, templates, collaboration, whatever it might be? Is it informational? So expertise, facts, information, feedback, training, buy-in, any of those sorts of things. Or is it that I actually just need emotional support? So I need someone to listen to me, someone who I can productively vent to or get some humor from. We can have a bit of a joke, someone to help me gain perspective of something, or even to give me advice from a trusted resource. Now, learn to say no more often. There are certainly many of us out there and we're people pleasers and we like to say yes, we like to take everything on, and then we work out that our oxygen mask isn't on at that point. You really need to work out where your sweet spot is, okay? Otherwise, when you are tipping over the edge, think about it like the image we've got here, or even think about it like a peak. If you are not sitting balanced at the tip of the peak, you are going to fall down on one side. This isn't just a matter of doing this exercise once. We need to be consistently looking at it, because things will keep coming in and into our lives. And if we're not actively at the same time taking things out of our bucket, then it's very easy for us to fall over from one side or to the other. So we've got to have that nice friction point, because friction creates a little bit of healthy stress to create the motivation to propel ourselves forward. But it's when that friction and that stress is too much, that's when it actually becomes detrimental. And so finally, practice positive means of releasing stress in the workplace. All right, we shouldn't think about the fact that we've got to pretend we've got it all together. If we feel like the oxygen mask is coming off, then we should practice healthy ways of releasing that. Now, that might be create an appropriate forum. So perhaps you agree on a specific time and a place, and a few of you get together and get the stress off your chest. So having some healthy discussion. Now, I'm not talking about going in and venting for the sake of venting, but rather having some really active and healthy discussion about, right, this is what's causing my stress, and I feel that this is the driver. Set a time limit on it, otherwise it could go on for a very long time, but restrict the amount of time you and your colleagues focus on it and try to stay to that time. And then at the end, you really want to focus on a positive. So focus on a solution and basically brainstorm, we now know what's going on, we now know the cause of it. How can we potentially devise a solution that is going to help eliminate or reduce these stresses? So there's just a couple of tips for you around stress management. We've got lots of other videos around achieving a balanced life, around coping with stress, mindfulness, meditation, all of those different ones. So lots of different videos that will all come together to form this series of wellness. So thanks for listening, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.